Anyway, I put something on the list. Gay affection in Disney. I don't really know what the fuck's going on, but
Of course, you see, I pre-Googled things before you come, and of course, the ones that I'm like, oh, he's not gonna go over.
of course I'm gonna go with the most controversial, so we
Well,
can get some.
I can tell you the gist
some info.
of that one.
Thank you,
is
Jake.
that
Go ahead.
in Florida, where like Disney, where one of Disney's like biggest production hubs is, like their one of their main studios. There's a new bill just straight up called "Don't Say Gay." Yeah, which is just like an anti-LGBTQ bill.
Is that what's going on right now? Because I saw
Yeah.
Melissa McCartney post something
McCarthy.
gay.
A ton of people on
Yeah, I love
Twitter
her,
are
dude.
posting just all that.
Oh,
Mark
we got-
Hamill did it as well.
We gotta name the title. This episode is gay.
Gay.
Yeah.
No, it has to be gay.
With like 12.
Yeah.
Or we suck at Disney. This episode's gay.
Oh,
Something
that's
like
a good
that.
one, Jake.
But yeah, so that's basically happening. Disney has always had kind of not great representation, not even like that representation there, but they've always kind of been kind of shitty with it, which is not that surprising considering like their founder is kind of a Nazi sympathizer.
As far
but like,
as people being gay,
yeah, like the portrayal of and representation of and stuff. Like, remember the
but haven't
fucking
they gotten better over the last few years? Like, aren't people like pissed every time there's a new character that's gay and like their kids?
Can you tell me one of them?
I can't. To
Exactly.
be honest.
No,
They said Lucas, right? Is that his name, Lucas? But that's not really true either, from what I've read. I also
Anyway.
haven't seen Lucas. Luca, not Lucas.
Oh, I was gonna say
Luca.
Lucas. Because in Beauty and the Beast they talked about like, oh, we have the first like live action gay character from Disney, and then it's like,
What?
no, like it's the guy who follows Gaston around a lot.
Oh.
Was it Josh Gad? Was he in that movie,
He
or was it just
was,
like a
I
Josh
believe.
Gad type? So it was Josh Gad's character was supposed to be gay, but then like literally it was the way that Dumbledore is gay. It was like we tweeted about it, but there's
Wait,
no
I didn't
evidence.
know Dumbledore was gay.
Yes, you did.
How the fuck you
Yes,
can't
you did.
possibly? This has
Yeah.
to be a joke.
We're not even going to discuss
No,
this.
that's
Anyway,
not a joke. I genuinely didn't.
We're not-
and if
we're
it's
not-
because J.K. Rowling tweeted it, she's muted.
Well, she tweeted it or said it like years ago. Like this is not like
this is before she was even canceled. She said,
yeah.
it was
This is
gay.
Jake.
She
this
also
is
said that
prime
like Harry and
people's-
Hermione were.
Well, she said it was bad writing that she didn't put them together.
Mm-hmm.
This is around that same time.
That's when
So,
she got muted. So
Well,
But,
this was there was like a
anyway,
whole year.
moving
Go
on.
ahead. Go
Disney
ahead.
does the same. Disney does the same thing in Beauty and the Beast, and that's basically the only time they do. And I get they have a lot of their like queer employees are now kind of talking more upfront and more vocally about like, yeah, the company doesn't really do a great job with these things. So that's where this is coming from. It's not like I think they were hoping that Disney would be more on their side in the fight against this bill. And then
They
it
weren't.
turns out that Disney is like soft supporting the bill.
Yeah.
So that's like where they haven't like come out and been like Disney all for it, but I think they like donate to who is it, Ron DeSantis's shit and stuff like that.
but that's literally the same thing with the whole Luca stuff. The Luca stuff was like everybody was saying, everybody who saw the movie was like, oh, they're gay, like, oh, they're gay. And then I think like nobody ever confirmed it, and then all of a sudden it turned into this huge, is he gay, is he not gay? And mostly people were saying like, no, he's not.
I mean, I haven't seen it.
Me neither.
It's a children's one. I don't think they have any like overtly like sexual themes in that. So probably hard to say either way. But
Okay, so
Alberto is his boyfriend.
what's the current dilemma right now? Like, where did this come from, and
this
why?
bill and Disney
Mm-hmm.
being like kind of in like soft in support of it, and their like gay employees and whatnot, basically calling them out over it, being like how
The
like
gay employees are calling Disney out for being
yeah,
soft allies to this bill.
yeah,
But what makes them soft allies? Are they just not
financial support and a lack of like any outward like any outward pushback, I guess.
I mean, but like, who's in charge of Disney though? I feel like whoever, like, I feel like whoever's in charge of Disney is not like anti-gay. You know, at this point,
it's hard to know that for certain. I think there's a whole lot of.
I looked it up. I googled what Luca was about, and
it's about a fish boy, right?
Yeah, but it's basically it says two adolescent boys growing up with a secret about their identity in a conservative town that prosecutes people for that secret. They spelled it wrong.
But they're fish people.
Yeah.
Like that's the secret.
I guess. It says because it says that it's like
also it's one thing I think.
Yeah, it says that they're meant to be friends, but the whole thing is about like their relationship.
Yeah, but also going to Eric's point, like you can love money more than you like hate a group of people and still make products that like vaguely involve them and whatnot without actually being a good person. So
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead, ask.
Go for it. Is
it related to this?
It is.
Or is it related to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
No, it's related to what Jake was just saying and your point. It's
okay. Go ahead.
It might be naive of me, but for the person who does make a gay story or even like bisexual or anything, wouldn't that be a fucking cash cow?
Well, maybe I'm getting confused because I thought there was like an animated gay story that, well, maybe I thought like Disney bought it after because it went viral and it was like this whole thing and it won a bunch of awards, but it went like straight to YouTube and Vimeo and whatnot. It was very like Pixar like, so I must have just thought
a short.
But then Disney bought it, so you think that?
No, that's what I thought. I don't know if that actually happened. I was under the impression that, you know, it was under that.
Is it a short film?
It's a short film. It was a few years ago. And
Carino?
I don't remember the name of it.
Oh, because there's a few of them. In a Heartbeat.
It was one of those where it makes it seem like the kid is into the little girl, but he's actually
Pixar's
into
gay short Disney Disney Plus filmmakers talk animated film.
I don't know, but that's a whole other discussion. That was a few years ago. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if they've just been outright anti-gay. Like, I mean,
I don't think this is what the conversation's about. It's about, I think, how they haven't really been like as supportive of like LGBT identities and stuff like that as they could be, while also still supporting things like this.
Well, I think they're also just catching up with like, you know, Mexican heritage and fucking, you know, like they're already behiend. So like, I feel
and
like
they do things very wrong as well culturally still to this day. So.
I just feel like they get so much. They're getting so much slack for.
I don't want to give Disney credit for things that Pixar is doing. Because while Disney owns Pixar, like Pixar operates pretty independently. It's just like that's the parent company.
What's the new movie that everyone loves?
Encanto.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh my god, yes, I love that movie.
I haven't seen it, but
you have to watch it.
I guess that's Pixar, right? So that wouldn't really count as.
I believe it's Pixar. Let me check.
I think it is just the way it's animated.
At this point, though, like isn't like anything Pixar does, I just assume is Disney. I don't think of any movie as a Disney movie. Like they're synonymous with each other in my eyes.
Well, now, Abigail Disney is not happy about it, and considering her last name is Disney,
Disney's not happy with what?
No, Abigail Disney, the granddaughter of one of Disney's founders, is deeply angered by Disney thinking it can look the other way.
So she's not involved in the company, but also an heiress of the company, essentially, and she's upset that Disney is. With like the voices of the writers and stuff like that they're not pushing back on this, or they're not like, you know, she's still cashing them Disney checks though. You know what I mean? She don't care that much. She's talking about it. You're right, but she's still she's still cashing them checks. You care so much? Take that money. I wonder if she is, or if it's just like. That's true. I don't know. I'm just talking
Disney's CEO actually sent out an email to his employees that leaked. And it says,
is it just like blatant and terrible and just like fuck y'all gay people? I don't want none of it.
Well, no, it's basically that sugar coated. He's like,
God, I should have known that it was a little bit polished.
Yeah, he was like, while we've been strong supporters of the community for decades, I know that many are upset we did not speak out against the bill. We were opposed to the bill from the outset, and we chose not to take a public position because we felt we could be more effective working behind the scenes directly with lawmakers on both sides of the aisle.
While we've been strong allies for decades, y'all know that ain't true. Like,
Right?
That's basically the letter. It's like, yeah, you knew. It's all the money. Like, it became popular support became prevalent, and then we were like, well, let's get that money.
But I think
Honestly, dude, I can't believe that this is a fucking thing. It makes me sad because even in Texas, dude, they're like passing a law. I think it already passed actually, where like you have to out your kids and like.
No, you don't personally have to if it's the teachers.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
It's if teachers find out anything about like any non-heterosexual tendencies, like they have to tell the parents, which is, fucking
harmful.
Yeah,
especially
because
in Texas.
It's Texas. Like it's hard to guarantee. You can't guarantee support from anywhere in the country, but like Texas, you're closer to guaranteeing a problem. Like. So you're
there's
just
something with
potentially putting
trans
kids in
people
harm's
as well
way.
that I don't remember that they passed, but it's crazy to me that this is all happening.
Yeah.
It's like taking 100 steps backwards.
Well, it's because they fucking decide they within the Trump era they've gone mask off. So like
I know
they're no longer trying to like really subtly do shit. They're just like, no, throw it all in there. Who gives a fuck? Like
because it was so accepted. It's fucking crazy. They like it was like Trump tested the waters and they were like, oh, well, if the president was doing it and nobody was condemning it. Well, nobody, but
not enough. They realized that not enough people in their own party. So they were like, in places where we're strong, we don't have to care. Basically.
Exactly.
It's like we don't have to be subtle in Texas. We don't have to be subtle in like Florida. We have to kind of toe a line in Pennsylvania and stuff like that, but like because they're not an outright majority. But in places where it's like most of the South, like they have given up trying to be like, oh, but you're just misreading the bill. They're like, no, that's just what it says. Fuck it. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Also, Disney is funding backers of the bill. That's another thing.
Exactly. That's what I was talking about. The soft support, not like them saying things, but they're giving the money away to people who are supporting it.
Right. But like, who do we consider Disney? Is it like one dude that nobody can really fight against? And he's
probably the CEO. It would be whoever handles their donations. When you have money like that, you donate for tax write-offs. Like it's a thing that you do. So whoever's handling that is the one in charge of it.
Like there's a guy.
All of this, no matter what, has to pass through a board.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of, there's not a single person in Disney who can unilaterally make any decision like this. Like, because this could, like, any political donation, any like movement like this can be an image issue like it's becoming for Disney.
I feel like it would be like maybe the owner of the entire estate would have the final say, like really be the one to be like, okay, we're going to not fund these people. But Jake's right. I don't think there's any one person who would be like, no.
Right. I guess my thing is, I always just assume that it's not like 15 people at a table saying, I hate gay people, and it could just be one guy that like, you can't.
It absolutely is not for a company as big and how much money they make as Disney. Like that, it could, if it was like a small business, like, then yeah, you can just have one dude. Like you see it all the time with like places that I'm trying to remember their name. There was like a coffee shop that was just like, we're not showing the bronze games here anymore, bro. Like you can make these weird decisions, but when it's one of the biggest companies out there, it's a whole board of people, and at least a majority of them have to sign off on it.
Yeah. Right. Well, let's play devil's advocate though, because we consider.
Why?
I'm not.
We know this for a fact.
Okay, no, I agree. Okay, sure. But what I'm saying is like the Avengers are considered Disney now, correct?
Yeah.
And at this point, there's we have Loki and several others that are, well, I guess Loki would be the only one so far, but there's hints of this character being non-binary and this character being bisexual and this character being gay. I mean, would we consider that to be Disney okaying these ideas? Or
No, you know what I would consider that being? Queer baiting.
Also, just noticing trends and being one, like I said earlier, liking the money more than like the hatred of like.
Right. So going along with the trend, but behind the scenes giving money to.
Yeah, and that's not like a wild and uncommon thing. Like,
I see what you're
But
saying.
also, if you get deeper, it's not really going along with the trend. It's exactly what I said it is. It's queer baiting. They're insinuating, they're not saying. So like they're using it for money, but not actually using it for money. So they're not really doing it. They're just
there's not
causing,
like there's
they're
been
giving
how
it
many
like attention.
there's been how many Avengers movies they had a whole show for Loki and all they did was talk about it with his female love interest.
And it was like an offhanded comment.
Yeah,
really. I mean, which I didn't see, but
and
anyway.
it's they chose it to be the character that just lies a lot.
Right, so he can.
They gave themselves an out to be like, he was just playing.
Just kidding. LOL.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Disney sucks.